morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to the show, what a wonderful delight. Yeah, Potsi and T-Rods better chop up on the mic. Just sit back, have a laugh, catch a vibe, and enjoy the ride. Yeah.
No, it's been a while, man.
It's been a super long time.
Our last episode was September. I think I looked it up. It was like the
September
start of September.
What? 2022?
Oh no, yeah,
21?
No, 22. It's been
22.
four or 5 months.
Man, it seems a lot longer than that.
A lot has changed. I mean, you're on a different team. I'm hanging on for dear life. I mean, there's been a lot of changes, and we start with you first. I mean, getting bought out by the Magic, now you're on the Suns.
Yeah,
it's been a complete change of scenery for you.
No, for sure. I mean, I guess we all kind of knew my time in Orlando was kind of coming to an end, and just there. I mean, I knew that at some point. Especially if I didn't get traded, I was like, I'm gonna get a buyout. Like, there's no point of just waiting. But
it seemed like that every year, though, at trade deadline.
Yeah, for sure.
You getting traded or you getting bought
out? This year, I was like, I don't care what happens. I was like, it's just I'm a lot older, but yeah, I mean, it worked out, man. I almost ended up going to Dallas before, right at the end. Monty and James came and swooped me out, and yeah. So I mean, it all worked out. Yeah, man, I'm here in Phoenix right now. Currently, you come up to visit a few times, so
yeah. No, but it's and like we kind of chatted about it in person, just the difference between Orlando and then like going from a team that you're the oldest person to now a team where it's like everyone's just as old as you are, or older.
Yeah,
and like Hall of Famers. Not saying that there couldn't be potential future Hall of Famers on Orlando, but just like guys that are so well known, and it's just got to be completely different.
Yeah, no, I mean, bro, it's crazy because this is my 11th season. Just finished my 11th season, and I've only been on 3 teams. So I kind of feel, in a sense, like I haven't seen a lot of the NBA still. In Toronto, I was with a good group of guys, like, I had DeMar and Kyle. But like we were still kind of young and up and coming, and it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same vibe. And I ended up getting traded to Orlando, and then Orlando's completely different. At first, when I got there was guys, similar to my age. But, as that kept going on, we just went totally in the rebuild direction. And so that just made the team incredibly young, draft picks, all that type of stuff. So, yeah, it's crazy how you can go from being in that type of environment for so long, and then, it seems like overnight, I mean, clearly not, but it seems like overnight, like you can find yourself in a completely different situation. And it's weird because it's I know a lot of these guys, and I played against, majority of these guys for a long time, but it just feels like, kind of like going to a different school in the same district. Yeah. Like, it doesn't feel too weird, especially, having like a few potential Hall of Famers on the team. But it's cool, man. It's a completely different feel. It feels like I went from elementary to middle school or high school or something. Just like, the level of maturity is just different. I don't want to say it's like in a derogatory sense to, the younger guys in Orlando, but it's just, guys at 22 think different than guys who were, in their mid to late 20s, early 30s. I mean,
you went through that too. Like when you're in Toronto, I mean, you had a totally different mindset.
Absolutely.
Than what you have now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's how it goes. So just to find myself on a team that's kind of, a little older in that sense is super cool. It's a change of pace, palate cleanser for sure. I mean, but it's been fun though.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
It is crazy to think like because the NBA, there's only so many guys in the NBA. It's not there's only a certain amount of teams, 30 teams, and 15 guys max on a team.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of turnover in the NBA. So like you said, it's like transferring schools inside the same school district. Like you've been playing against these guys forever.
For sure.
It's not like you don't know them. Like,
but that's the cool thing though. Like, especially like playing with KD and CP. It's like I played against those guys for better part of a decade now.
Yeah.
But they both been, primarily in the West. So it's like I don't really get to see them that many times throughout the year. So being on their team and just, seeing how, they approach the game and how they, they work every day and just seeing their routine is dope. It's like, because I've seen, a few guys, but never at this level.
Yeah.
And never like this caliber of player. So it's been definitely crazy to see. I know KD's been out, for a little bit of that part when he got here. But just seeing him in the games that he has played, bro, it's amazing to see his level of skill and his ability to make things happen on the court, like his shot making ability, his scoring. I mean, it's like
it's once in a lifetime. It's like once in a lifetime person you're gonna see.
It's a generational talent, and it's crazy because, like I said, I've seen him. I've played against him when he's had 50 before, and you see that every now and then. But like, you don't think about it too long because you just gotta move on to the next game and you move on.
Yeah,
you play other players and whatnot. But it's crazy seeing this guy. He really does that all the time. Like he really play like he doesn't miss. He's automatic. And it's like the games watching him on TV doesn't like do it the same as watching him in person because it just looks so much more incredibly difficult when he's trying to score over two players than it does when he's just when he's on TV. It almost seems like a TV show. It doesn't seem real. But seeing him and Book and CP all do their thing, bro, is definitely something I'll always remember.
Well, we talked about it too. Like he's like your locker mate, like right next to Kevin.
Yeah,
and like you get to experience him every day. We're always asking like, what does Kevin Durant do? Kevin Durant do?
Everybody's like, how's KD? Like, what is he like?
What is he like? What does he do? And you're like, he's just basketball. Like, it's like 24/7 basketball. Like he just loves the sport and he's always trying to find ways to get better.
I mean, but that's usually how the great ones are, though.
You have to be. I mean,
it's kind of like it's not something that they're just like, I have to be good. It's almost like kind of like how Jordan was. It's almost like a sickness, like a rash you can't get rid of. Like it's just per se, you're obsessed with it, and then just you kind of see how that is. Like you see, like I'm walking to locker room, I see KD just watching film on his phone or watching other games and keeping up with everything going on, league wise. Or same with like CP and Book. Like when everybody gets to the gym, like the first thing we're talking about in the locker room is like who played the night before. Who's here, who's doing what's going on in the league. So it's like you definitely get the sense of like, okay, these guys, they really want to win. Like it's just like, a different culture here. So it's super dope being a part of that and just vibing with that and kind of fitting in. But it's been cool, bro.
Yeah, because even when you're younger, like going from a team like Orlando, I can imagine like you're young, you're living your life. Like you're not like, that's not really, I can't imagine the locker room being like that. Like, oh, look at this person. Like, obviously you guys watch basketball, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. We catch whatever we catch.
Yeah, you catch it, you catch, but you have so much going on in your life at such a young age because you're so like new to it that now it's like a common goal and everyone's just kind of locked into their role. They've been doing it for 15, 16 years. Like,
it's insane. It's just a different feel, bro. I can't explain it because it's like we're playing the same game. We have the same type of similar routines, like the same schedules. But it's just a completely different feel, different environment. So I don't know, man. It's dope.
That's crazy. I had a chance to shoot the KD9 commercial with him, and I had a chance just to be on the court with him for a few hours shooting a commercial, and like just seeing him up close and personal. Like we were just playing like 1-on-1 or shooting. It's just like, dude.
I know exactly what commercial you're talking about too because when I saw it, as soon as I saw it when it came out, I was like. I didn't know that you were in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not Steven, is it? I was like, that's Potsi. And it's weird because it was just like you got crossed over into like dust.
Yeah,
and then
dust.
And then he just dunked on you, and then there was just like the shoe out there. I was just like, how
it was so funny. Rest in peace, Aaron Cowan. He's the one that hooked it up. He used to hook up all the Portland guys with commercials like LeBron, Like a lot of guys had been doing them. But it was funny because we were sitting with the director, like, okay, what move does KD like to do before he got out there the day before? We walked through it all, and I was like, oh, well, he likes to get that little hezzy in and out, and
like you already got everything. Y'all got the whole blueprint already.
Well, and then he comes in and he's just a pro at it. He just cooking us, but he was super cool because he stayed around and shot. Like we were out there for like 6 hours shooting, and he just loved hoops, just
chilling.
Just
as long as he has a ball, he's fine. You see him every time out, bro. Like every time out, he goes and grabs a ball and he'll start shooting around. So it's just like
that's insane. And now you guys are moving into the playoffs.
Like
quickly here. Like what is that?
No, but I know.
Tuesday. We play what? Thursday? You play Thursday, I think.
No, Thursday? No way.
The
It has to be
play-ins are
like Sunday or
today.
Monday. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you got the
So yeah,
Clippers,
the
right?
play-ins. Yeah, we got the play-ins. I know we got like 3 or 4 days of practice
Yeah.
before we go into it. Actually, so nah, man, playoffs are here. It's my first time being in the West, and then
Yeah.
now going into the
True.
Western Conference playoffs is going to be exciting.
Well,
Different feel.
yeah, and like it's such a different feel because it's like you're a true contender for a title.
This is the best team I've been on going into the playoffs.
Yes, and I think
in my entire career.
Yeah, and so it's a different feel than like when you're on Toronto. It's like, hey, we're trying to make something happen. Yeah. Orlando, you guys are like first time making the playoffs.
Just trying to get to the playoffs. Yeah.
Just win a game in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a crazy feel. Because even now, like that's the thing. Like we were getting to the playoffs, we were just trying to make as much noise as we could. Like now, it's like we're being looked at as a team that has all the pieces to get it done. So it's like, how do we maximize that? How do we get everything we need to going forward, especially with the team that just got put together, you know, kind of, it was kind of recent. So it's going to be challenging. It's going to be fun, but I expect it to be that way just because it's the playoffs. It's not going to be easy, man. You got to win at least 16 games. So it is going to be a grind. It is going to be a war because just look how the Western Conference just went throughout the entire season. I can't imagine what the playoffs are going to be like. It was so close just up until the last game. So, you know, going to the playoffs could be a completely different animal. So,
yeah. And just starting off, I mean, you guys got the Clippers, correct? Am I correct with that?
Yeah, we got the Clips.
And have you guys played them recently? I can't remember.
Yeah, we played them in the game. They beat us to get that spot.
But was everybody playing though?
Yeah, Kawhi is playing. The only person I wasn't playing was PG.
And there is some news that he might
be out for.
He might be out for some of the first games.
Yeah, he said the first. I don't know, but I definitely saw that he was going to be hurt. Not going to be. He was going to be out.
Yeah. But that should be an interesting matchup. I mean, you guys locked up the home court, which is very big for that to get in the first spot. But you're playing against two guys that are veterans and, you know, potentially Paul George and then Kawhi and then, you know, the rest of their team as well. I mean, they got players. I mean, Kawhi is like winning the title. Like it's gonna be a battle.
What does Kawhi have that KD doesn't?
No, I know.
2 final MVPs. Like, I mean,
no, for sure. I
think however it goes, we're confident. I think it's more so people are worried about running to us.
Oh, 100%.
And that's cool, but I think we're looking at it as like, all right, we have what it takes to get there. I don't care who we play.
Just play your game.
Just play the way we're supposed to play, and it's gonna come out. Like, and look how we ended the season, bro. Besides the last 2 games, we went on like a 7-game winning streak. So we were starting to get into that rhythm, that groove, that pace. So as long as we can just carry that and then build on it, I mean, that gives us a good shot to do good things.
Yeah, I mean, watching you guys, like obviously being able to watch D-Book and then like KD play those 2 games, like it's just
the potential of what could happen and what we can be capable of is.
Oh yeah, amazing. I mean, 2 of the top scorers in the NBA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and that's the thing, bro. Like being in the East, you don't get to see a lot of these guys play on a night in, night out basis. So seeing Book play is crazy too, bro. Like his shot making ability is elite, bro. I mean, like when it comes to 2 guards, this is the prototypical guard that you would want to create. Like this is like for a 2 guard.
He has some of that Kobe-esque fadeaway stuff that's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Shot. He can shoot from
anywhere.
Super high up. He can shoot from anywhere. He can also he can dunk. He can get to the hoop. He can finish with left hand. He's very good finishing around the hoop. That's one thing I noticed. Full speed or whatever, bro. If he has a full head of spin, he can finesse it, and he has enough touch just to put it on the rim and just let it drop in. That's very hard and underrated. I don't think people understand how hard that is. Like his touch shots are unreal, bro. He does this thing in warm-ups where he runs like up to like the restricted circle and then shoots like a moonshot like to the shot clock, bro. And it just drops in every single time. Crazy.
It's insane. The amount. It's been a crazy few months for you, and then on top of it, it's been a crazy few months for me as well. I mean, there's kind of some of the reason why we kind of stopped the podcast. I was going through some health stuff, which was very unexpected.
Yes.
Very unexpected. But yeah, I ended up getting diagnosed with thyroid cancer. As you can see, the scar.
You really can't see the scar. It's you really can't. You really can't see. It just looks like he has like.
Looks like I'm
kind of like whirls or something. No, it's not too bad. But yeah, no, you for sure have been dealing with this for a while.
Yeah, so it was nuts. I mean, I got diagnosed. I think it was in August. It was after we got back from New York, actually, because we went to Rage Against the Machine in New York.
Yeah.
I had some tests done. It runs in the family. Ended up being thyroid cancer, which is crazy to think. Oh, cancer, it's scary. All that. I ended up getting my thyroid removed along with a bunch of lymph nodes. And they got rid of everything. I got a checkup coming on Monday, which is nice to see, kind of a 6 month thing. Yeah, to see how it progressed. But it was scary and it was a crazy time. I mean, having like a 3-hour surgery and then you wake up and it's been 7.5 and you're like, what happened? Why did it take so long? I couldn't move for about 3 weeks. I was in bed just like bored.
And what did it feel like? So what were you feeling before all of this, before you went to go get checked up? Because I know that you said you always used to complain about like, oh, feeling like tired.
I was having some issues. And I was going in and they just weren't finding anything. It was like, oh, everything's fine. Like I thought my heart was like racing. I'm like, is there something wrong with my heart? Nothing.
So what were the symptoms though? Like what were some of the things you were having? Shortness of breath?
Yeah, kind of just like I'm feeling weird, man. Just having this weird feeling, vision, almost feeling like I'm passing out. Yeah. And my heart was the thing that was really bothering me. I was like, what's going on? And then I just had a salivary gland that swelled up and it was getting blocked by something else. And that's what caused everything to happen. I got a CT scan and they caught my nodule on my thyroid. And so when they caught my nodule on my thyroid, they were like, oh yeah, salivary gland stones, like that's nothing. Like that's just, we can get that out of there. That'll pass by itself. But they're like, the more serious thing is the nodule. And I was like, oh shoot. And my sister had just went through it. And so it just kind of sped up the process. But then, getting all the tests done, finding out, it's in cancer on both sides of my thyroid. And then the cancer was in my lymph nodes. And so getting like 50 lymph nodes removed along with that. It's just taken a long time for the healing process. And it was wild, man. My neck it's still sore, but like it was bad for about 2 months, 3 months. Like just can't move and just
couldn't do much.
Yeah.
I remember, bro, you always used to complain about like, oh, I'm tired. I'm like, damn, bro. It's like, because you always say, I will go golf. And then after golfing, you're like, bro, I can't. I'm just like, I'm super.
Bro, that's,
I go to sleep.
But then like, once you start like realizing like what your thyroid
does and how it regulates your body.
Regulates body, like heart rate. It regulates a lot of those things. And like even vision and things like that. It's all tied to regulating it. So it kind of made sense. It's like I was having these problems for a while. And the crazy thing is that thyroid cancer, it progresses very slowly. So it's like I could have had it for like 10 years.
For a long time before it got really serious.
Until I not even know. And that's what like my doctor was saying is like, oh, the salivary gland stones, they like kind of saved your life in a sense. Because it's like I could have kept going on and not had
5 years and just
Because even like when it comes to girls and guys, like my sister, hers was not as serious as mine, and she could like feel a swollen neck. Like mine was never like that. Like mine was way smaller, but it was just more cancer. Like it's crazy, like how that. And it's like I could have gone on for 10 more years before I probably had something
really got checked out for sure.
And so it's crazy, but it's also one of the most curable cancers. So it's definitely in a good spot. And bro, it was a wild time.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy. My mom has she had thyroid problems. I think like Hashimoto's or something similar.
Weren't you telling me that she would pass out and stuff?
Bro, no, she used to have like fainting spells. She used to get like kind of very like fatigued and lethargic and like lightheaded. But then she'd also have like very strange symptoms. Like I remember as a kid, bro, like her palms, like her skin was kind of like peeling, and she was like taking off like these little layers of like skin. It's like, how you maybe when you get like a hangnail or something, like little skin like that. It's like on her palms are like kind of coming off and flaking off. And she was like, I don't know what's wrong and this and that. And I remember her going to the doctor and talking about it and saying, oh, it was my thyroid. So I was, since a little kid, I always been like conscious of like, oh, people, or what a thyroid does and what it is. So
well,
I don't know. It's definitely, but it's common though. It's almost it's
so
very
that's
common.
what I was saying. So like when I was doing research on it, it's like 60% of people have a nodule on their thyroid, but it's just the fact that is it benign or is it cancerous? So it's not. It's very very common, but they still like don't know. It's crazy how things like that can be so common and like so curable, but they still don't know like how it's caused. Like they don't know like it's genetics. It's in my family, but you know what I mean. Like they don't know. It's crazy how maybe Chat GPT can figure it out. Get some
Chat GPT, bro.
Speaking of that, I mean that's something new that's happened since we have stopped talking. Like the whole AI thing right now is going crazy.
It's becoming dangerous, and I'm starting to see why Elon Musk was kind of like, hey man, this could get out of control if you guys don't do something about it. Because like, remember a few months ago when everybody was doing that little filter on TikTok, it was like, oh, turn your face into like an AI thing. And it was like, it would come up with a sketch. It'll be kind of weird looking, like a weird Picasso type painting. And you're just like, it's kind of off. Since then, that was like maybe 4 or 5 months ago. But like since then, bro, people now can use AI to make it look like Donald Trump is running through the streets about to get arrested. Because like people really thought that was a real picture. So like I can't imagine just in the next 4 or 5 years like how they could use AI to manipulate us, to deceive us, to help us, to do whatever it is. And it's crazy because even on TikTok now I'm seeing AI deep voice fakes of like, I mean, that's it's one thing. And there's one thing that's going on. It's like they're using artist voice to like cover other songs. So like they're using a lot of dead artists like XXX and Juice WRLD to like cover Kanye West songs or Drake songs, and it sounds identical. So I'm just like, bro, it's going to be hard to know who you're talking to in the future, and that's scary.
Well, and we've been seeing that slowly, like with those holograms and people being able to make songs after they're dead, and like now it's like so advanced, like it's crazy. And that's the crazy thing. Like even like Instagram, you'll see pictures and it'll just be all AI. They're like, these are fake, and it looks like people at a party. It looks like normal, like people. Like it's
terrifying.
Scary. It's scary.
That's terrifying.
You won't know what's real and not.
And is AI? I know AI is such a vague term. Like we throw AI out there, like it's just like, oh, it's a robot. But like, is it one collective brain, or is it just like, is it
people
kind of
making
like
their own
different? It's like different versions of AI that do different things. Or is it just is it all at some point going to get connected and it's going to be like, okay, now that we're all here together,
we're going to destroy everything.
Let's reorganize the world.
Well,
I hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, well, that's the scary part is like if it gets its own like we're inputting all this stuff into it and it's spitting it out. Like watching Chat GPT, like people are passing, like doing school with it, doing all these things with it, asking it. It's passing some of the highest exams.
Oh,
and it's like.
It's like, what do we need people? Like, it's like, what do we? It's almost taking our ability to learn away. Almost like we're not going to be able to.
I mean, I wish this was like I can't imagine being in school now. It's just like
you're not, bro. You're not really going to know anything.
I was going through Spark Notes trying to figure out what book I was supposed to read. Now
I'm trying to skim through pages by threes, just skimming over a book because it's 3 days until the freaking thing is done. I'm just like, I think this is what it means. Let me go to Google 15 years ago, which is like. It's not. It's just not the same.
No, it's
bro.
not the same. It's not the same
on Google nowadays compared to you can literally just go and ask Google a question and it will just come back with the most common fucking answer. But I don't know, man.
Now you got people.
Times are changing.
Yeah, it's definitely weird for the schooling aspect of like learning and like. Yeah. How can you? Yeah, they're going to have to create something that's going to be able to detect if it's an AI. But it's like. Yeah,
just straight AI is teaching. Like that would probably mainstream a lot of things. I mean,
it's scary though because it's like it's going towards that robotic world in general, like with everything, like it's just, jobs, anything is like people are like, oh, we can just have robots do it. They do it faster. They won't stop. They'll do it all night long. Like,
it's weird because it's like, how lazy do we want to get before like we're used like we're you know?
And it's going to be one of those things where it's really going to separate like. The upper class from the lower class because it's like there's not going to be it's not going to be as much jobs, and it's like, okay, you got all these people that are owning all the robots doing all the work.
The rest you got this work at one of those companies that maintenance is the iRobots.
No, exactly. It's going to turn into stuff like that, and it makes you think of iRobot, which is nuts. Gas cars. I mean, I was seeing something like the other day.
No more gas cars.
Well, that's what like, and it kind of reminds me of iRobot when he's driving his motorcycle. His gas.
Oh yeah, he was tripping.
Yeah,
tripping on that.
Yeah, and it's like, so at some point, these gas cars are going to be so valuable because there's going to be none of them. It's going to be nuts.
So when I bought my car, it's a V12, and I remember the dude was like, yeah, it's like this is the last version of a V12 that like the Bentleys or any other cars are going to make, because they're trying to go electric. Everything's going electric. So like now bigger engines are going to be kind of going out of style. And if you have it, hold on to it, because it will turn into a relic, especially if it's a nicer car. Because after a while, man, everything's going to be hybrid, or everything's going to be just completely electric.
Yeah.
So I didn't think we'd be here. I thought stuff like this would happen. I thought AI would start to advance. I thought cars would be electric and flying. But I thought all that would be like when I was like 50 or 60. Yeah. Not so much like now. And it's a little concerning. Not concerning, but it's just times are changing.
It's different. Yeah. And they like a Lamborghini just came out with their electric like Lambo now. And then like, did you see, and I think it was in Europe somewhere, the road that recharges your car on the road? That really made me think of like iRobot. Yeah, they're building a highway that you drive on, and it recharges as you drive on it.
You're thinking of iRobot way too much. I get it. That's the point of reference.
But it is. But it's like, do you know what I'm saying though? It's like crazy. Like, oh, you can just drive on this road forever. Like, it's just gonna keep recharging my car. Like, it's insane. We're gonna be on tracks eventually, and it's just gonna be flying around at like.
Speaking of tracks, you see the bullet train in was it China or Japan?
I mean, both of them have them. I mean, Japan has a ton of bullet trains.
This train, it's so fast, bro, that like it doesn't even. They use like some gravitational something to keep the train literally off the track. So the train just hovers on the track. It's going damn near Mach 2, and it's not even touching the freaking ground. And it's faster than like the speed of sound, I think.
Holy smokes! Okay, world's fastest bullet train.
Crazy. Where is it? Japan? China?
Japan.
600
miles an hour.
600 miles an hour, bro. It can travel like a mile.
Oh, wait,
in like 11 seconds.
Hold on. 375 miles per hour. 600 kilometers per hour.
Oh, I'm about to say. Holy
that doesn't matter. 375
on a train.
This is much faster than the trains already operating in Shanghai and South Korea that run around 268 miles an hour.
Bro, I saw a video.
Insane. That's insane.
I saw the video of a dude standing like a mile away from the tunnel, and you could see like vaguely in the distance just like a flimmer of light, and then this thing comes out of the tunnel, and then from time it comes out of the tunnel to where the guy's standing, bro, maybe 2.5 seconds, and that thing is just moving, and then like it goes past him, and the dude doesn't even realize it until like it's halfway gone, and then just the wind knocks him on his ass.
Well, it's just it's like when those planes that fly by and you don't even hear them, and then it's it's like a thunderstorm just
no, absolutely. That shit is crazy, and I kind of want to experience it. I don't know. It's in Japan. Yeah, I've been saying boys trip in Japan. Let's take the train.
Yeah, it's weird that we don't have any advancements in the train industry in the United States. Like, it has to do with money though, and it has to do with flights and things along those lines. Because like, think about it. If there was like a cheaper way to travel at that speed across the country, like you could move fast. I mean, I know planes go way faster, but it's like you could take a cheaper route. Like going from like if there was a bullet train from like where I'm at, Spokane to Seattle, I'd be there so quick, and it would cost like way less than a plane flight.
I don't want to get too much into conspiracies, but who's to say that there's not already a train system that kind of already does that? And this one is underground.
Yeah, is what I mean, that's what LA was trying to do. I think wasn't
with the
a
Tesla thing.
Yeah, they were trying to build that.
Was for like that was I don't think it was a train though. I think it was just a tunnel for cars. I actually saw
that's insane.
The little tunnel thing. He actually has a little bit of it built. You take your Tesla up, the Tesla locks in place and it drives by itself through the tunnel. And he said these things can get up to like 150 miles an hour, just zooming. And the tunnel's not big. It's not like a car tunnel, bro.
Yeah.
It is like literally a little dome over your car, and you're just zooming through this little tube. And he was, and one of the questions, like, how, like, what was to stop it from crashing into the car ahead of it? He was like, well, there's sensors and everything, and it wouldn't let you do that. Like, if it would sense it, and it was just slow down automatically. Yeah. So you're holding a lot of trust in that aspect. But, bro, you know how that LA traffic is, bro. It is brutal. If it was only Teslas only, I think that would still open up a lot of space just for like people that don't have Teslas to move around. Just because if that thing is zipping through, like people are gonna do that.
Well, and yeah, if it's like, and that's what I was saying, like if it's like a track where it's like you get on it and it goes a certain amount of mile an hour, like, and it just keeps people moving. Like,
so there's no traffic.
People moving so people don't stop and do their BS and slow everything down.
I feel so sad for the first few hundred people that get stuck or some type of maintenance thing where the thing just your car just stops in the middle of this dark little tunnel.
Oh god,
hundreds of feet underground.
It's like getting stuck on a roller coaster 100 feet in the air.
Just let me out. Just let me out, and I'll just suffocate to death. Like, I don't know. Because, bro, that's my only concern. Is like, cool. If it's gonna be a 15-minute ride through complete darkness and just a tunnel, and you're going fast as hell, cool.
Yeah.
As soon as you start to stop halfway through, and now you're not going fast, that's where I got a problem, bro.
It's claustrophobic to the max.
Oh, bro. And I've never even been that type of guy.
Yeah.
But I think the older I'm getting, the more shit's starting to settle in on me. Like, I can't. I never had a problem with that. I never had a problem with heights. I never had a problem with roller coasters. I can't do all three of those things now in my older age.
I'm with you. It's insane.
It's bad.
Bro, the last thing I saw, did you see the guy that built that underground bunker at his house? Did you see that on Instagram?
Ooh, Adam Morrison?
No, this is like end of the world. Like, I'm talking, here, I'll pull it up, but 15 stories underground. 15 stories underground, has a pool. Yeah.
It's 15 stories, or it's built 15 stories underground?
It goes 15 stories underground.
Oh my lord. It's like that little phone app of like the little zombie war games you find, and the dude just builds underground and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. Yeah, and it's like it's built for like a ton of people, which is crazy. Like I don't understand how this guy slot maintenance,
or like how much he spent on this. Like,
where is this?
Where is he going right now? You're never probably gonna use it, but
is he using like an old nuke silo bomb shelter or something?
I don't think so, but $20 million fortified. It's he bought a missile silo in Kansas.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. I was like, that's a missile silo. I was like,
he's got a full pool.
How do you maintenance all this? Like, you're spending so much money just to keep to do the construction and to keep all the upkeep of that, and you might not ever use it. Does he live there, or he has a separate home?
He has a separate home. Survival started in this missile silo. Look at that, and then he just took it and started building.
What scared him? The Cuban Missile Crisis back in the 80s or some shit? Like, what? By the time you're even done building this,
look at these. These are the rooms. There's 15 floors of 12 single family homes.
Oh my god, I would hate to be the family at the bottom.
I mean, it's actually pretty nice. Like,
it's nice as hell, but it's not nice.
Underground.
Wait, go back up. Go back. Are the windows like LED TVs to make it seem like you're outside and you're not 15 feet or 15 stories down?
Gosh, talk about claustrophobic. Yeah, look at these windows. Like, what?
I would feel like I'm being held captive.
Yeah, they could just change all the pictures. Look, he's got a movie theater. Told the Business Insiders that when North Korea conducts a test of its nuclear weapons or other significance, he experiences a surge in calls from interested buyers. Yeah.
Oh, so the rich crazy kooks all start calling him. Got it.
So it's basically a survival condo. So he's selling them. Dude, fish tanks, grows vegetables. He thought that was a grow up.
For your vegetables. Yeah, it's a grow up. He has. My God, bro. What is this?
He has a general store. He's got a grocery store.
All that food's expired. So
that thing's lasting forever.
He has a medical facility.
I mean, and he's got classrooms.
Oh, just because you can never get away from the SAT. He has a water park?
He's got water slides.
It's a water slide. God.
I mean, the
Bro, this is how my setup in GTA Online looks like.
rock climbing. The maintenance though for not a dog park, the maintenance for this is insane. A gun range.
Bro, this is exactly what my GTA Online looks like.
Oh, he also has one of the fastest. They say it's high speed elevator. I remember.
Yeah, I don't need that. We can get a slower one.
Just
and
the crazy thing is, he probably has even a crazier like exit that no one else knows about.
I don't even want to know.
Nice arcade, bud.
You could put a little more effort into the arcade.
The arcade could be a little more fun, man.
It could be like you could get a little. This is not Red Robin. This is. We have to do a little better. But hey,
man,
yeah, I don't know. That's wild.
That's insane. 15 stories. Oh wow. $20 million.
I'll just die in the apocalypse. Sorry.
Yeah, do you even want to be the people coming out of there? It's like it's gonna be nothing. Just you.
That's like The Last of Us. No thanks. Just let me get bit and get it over with.
All right, man. Well, it's good to catch up. We'll be back on a regular schedule, everybody. It's good to be back and chatting it up.
And shout out to everybody I've seen on the road that's always said, hey, I enjoy your podcast. I enjoy your streams. That really, made me feel good. So shout out to you guys. We're really doing this for you guys. So I always get a bunch of people asking like, yo, when the podcast come back? Even people in Phoenix have been asking me about that. So This one's for you guys. Dedicated to y'all. So
and we'll be back. And then
we'll be back. We'll be doing this a little bit more regularly. So
and if you want to sponsor our podcast, send us an email. We are open for sponsorships. You can have your name underneath it. Get that promotion.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody. Peace.
Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to the show, what a wonderful delight. Yeah, Potsi and Terrence better chop up on the mic. Just sit back, have a laugh, catch a vibe, and enjoy the ride. Yeah.